Hey everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. Today, Ava and I are tackling a super important topic that I know so many of you struggle with: how to speak English every day with confidence. Especially for our A2 to B1 level listeners, it can feel a bit daunting, right?
Absolutely, Lily. It's one thing to understand English when you read it or hear it, but actually opening your mouth and producing sentences, that's a whole different ballgame. I remember feeling so much pressure to be perfect when I was learning a new language, and that just made me freeze up.
Exactly! That fear of making mistakes is honestly the biggest blocker for so many learners. They know the grammar, they have the vocabulary, but the confidence just isn't there to actually use it in a conversation. We want to change that today.
Yeah, we're going to dive into some really practical, actionable tips you can start using today to get more comfortable speaking English. No complicated theories, just real-world strategies. So where should we start, Lily?
I think the first step for anyone at this level is to create an English-rich environment around them, even if you're not living in an English-speaking country. This isn't just about listening to podcasts or watching movies, which are great, but actively integrating English into your daily life.
Oh, that's a fantastic point. I mean, think about your phone. Is it set to English? What about your computer, your social media feeds? Even small things like changing your default language can force you to interact with English constantly.
Right? And you'd be surprised how much vocabulary you pick up just by navigating your phone in English. Plus, it's a very low-pressure way to expose yourself to new words and phrases every single day. No one is judging your menu choices.
True. Building on that, something I always recommend is self-talk in English. It might sound a bit silly at first, but try narrating your day to yourself in English. When you're making breakfast, describe what you're doing. I'm pouring milk into my cereal. I'm stirring my coffee. Even just in your head.
I love that, Ava. It's like having a constant, free practice partner who never gets tired of listening, and it helps you access those words and sentence structures quickly. It builds that muscle memory for speaking.
Exactly, and you can do it anywhere. Waiting for the bus? Describe the people around you or what you see. It trains your brain to think in English, which is a huge step towards speaking fluently.
Another fantastic technique, especially for pronunciation and intonation, is shadowing. This is where you listen to a native speaker, maybe a short clip from a podcast like ours, or a YouTube video, and you try to repeat what they say almost simultaneously, mimicking their rhythm and tone.
Oh, shadowing is brilliant! It really helps with sounding more natural, doesn't it? Because it's not just about saying the words, it's how you say them. The stress, the pauses, the musicality of the language.
Totally. Start with short sentences, then move to longer ones. Don't worry if you miss words at first. The goal is to get your mouth and tongue used to making those English sounds. You can even record yourself and compare it to the original if you're feeling brave.
That's a great tip for self-correction. Now, beyond talking to yourself and shadowing, many people at the A2-B1 level are probably thinking, but how do I find real people to talk to?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And honestly, it's easier than ever now. Language exchange apps are a game changer. Apps like HelloTalk or Tandem connect you with native English speakers who are learning your language, so you can help each other.
Yes, and it's such a low-pressure environment. You can start with text chat, then move to voice messages, and eventually, if you feel comfortable, voice calls. It's a fantastic way to build confidence incrementally.
Exactly. And remember, the person on the other end is also learning, so they understand the challenges. There's no need to feel embarrassed about making mistakes. In fact, mistakes are how you learn.
Let's emphasize that for a second, Lily. Mistakes are how you learn. You are going to make mistakes. Native speakers make mistakes. The key is to not let that stop you. View them as feedback, not failures.
Yes! If you're waiting until your English is perfect before you start speaking, you'll never speak. Perfection is the enemy of progress here. Just open your mouth and try. The more you try, the better you'll get.
Okay, so we've talked about creating an environment, self-talk, shadowing, and finding exchange partners. What about specific conversation practice ideas?
Good question. For A2-B1, having some structured topics can be really helpful. Don't just jump into a free-flowing conversation if you're not ready. Try preparing a bit. For example, choose a simple topic like my favorite hobby, or what I did last weekend.
That's a smart strategy. You can even write down a few bullet points in English about what you want to say. That way, you have a mini script to guide you, but it still feels like a natural conversation.
Absolutely. Or if you're talking to a language partner, maybe suggest a topic beforehand. Hey, next time we chat, let's talk about our favorite travel destinations, or let's discuss our opinions on a recent news story. This gives both of you time to prepare.
Preparation is key for building confidence, especially at the beginning. It reduces the unknown. Another great one is describing pictures. Find an interesting photo online and just describe everything you see. Who are the people? What are they doing? What's the weather like?
Oh, that's excellent for activating descriptive vocabulary. You can do that alone or with a partner. You know, when I was learning Spanish, I'd sometimes just pick up an object in my house and try to describe it out loud in Spanish. Simple things like, this is a blue cup. It's made of ceramic. It's full of tea. It's surprisingly effective.
It truly is. It forces you to use the language in a meaningful, immediate way. And it's okay if your sentences are simple at A2-B1. The goal isn't to sound like a poet, it's to communicate effectively and build that comfort level.
Totally. And don't forget the power of asking questions. In a conversation, if you're struggling to come up with something to say, a good question can keep the flow going. What do you think about that? Or, have you ever tried X? Or, can you tell me more about why?
Yes, active listening and asking follow-up questions shows engagement and takes some of the pressure off you to constantly produce new information. It's a great conversational tool in any language, really.
Right. We're talking about confidence here, and confidence often comes from feeling prepared and knowing you have tools in your toolkit to handle different situations. Asking questions is definitely one of those tools.
What about setting realistic goals? Because I think sometimes people feel like they need to be fluent in 3 months, and that just leads to burnout and discouragement.
That's such a crucial point, Ava. Fluency is a journey, not a destination. For A2-B1, a realistic goal might be, I will have one 15-minute conversation in English this week. Or, I will describe 5 objects in my house in English every day. Make it specific, measurable, achievable.
Exactly. Small wins build momentum. You achieve that 15-minute conversation and you think, hey, I did it. I can do it again. That positive reinforcement is incredibly important for building confidence.
And remember why you're learning. Is it for travel, for work, to connect with people? Keeping that motivation front and center can help you push through those moments when you feel shy or frustrated.
That's a powerful reminder. It's not just about the mechanics of the language, it's about the purpose behind it. And that purpose can fuel your confidence.
Another thing is not to compare yourself to others. Everyone's language learning journey is unique. Someone might pick up vocabulary faster, another might have better pronunciation. Focus on your own progress and celebrate your improvements.
Comparison is truly the thief of joy in language learning, just like in life. You're doing great just by showing up and trying. And remember, consistency beats intensity every single time.
Absolutely. 5 minutes of speaking practice every day is far more effective than 1 hour once a month. Make it a habit. Integrate it into your routine.
So, to quickly recap for our listeners, create an English-rich environment, practice self-talk, try shadowing, use language exchange apps, prepare with specific topics or picture descriptions, don't be afraid to ask questions, set realistic goals, and embrace your mistakes.
Phew, that's a lot of fantastic advice, Ava. The main takeaway, I think, is just to start. Don't wait. Don't overthink it. Every single word you speak, every sentence you form is building that confidence muscle.
Exactly. And remember, we're all here to support you on your English learning journey. You're not alone in feeling a little nervous, but you are absolutely capable of speaking English every day with growing confidence. Give yourself permission to be imperfect and just speak.
Such a perfect note to end on. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ava, and thank you, our wonderful listeners, for tuning in. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye, everyone. Happy speaking.